Welcome back, people, to Bun&Cheese Reviews. This week we're staying on football, of course, and it is my top 5 favourite Premier League managers, or managers in general. I don't really know, if I'm being honest, because, spoiler alert, all 5 of these are Premier League managers, but Premier League is the league I watch the most, so, you know what I mean, it's one of those things. But we've got a lot of information on these that I've got to get through, so let's stop all the talking, as I say, and get straight into the list. Number 5, Eddie Howe. I bet you're surprised to see Howe on this list, aren't you? But let's face it, he's on this list for one reason only. The fact he took Bournemouth from the bottom of the Football League to the Prem. This is something pretty much every football fan does when FIFA comes out on career mode. But the fact we don't see managers do it often in real life signifies how hard it actually is. In the 2014-15 season, he achieved promotion to the Premier League, which was only 3 years after he re-signed for the club while they was in League One. He signed some players that helped keep them in the top division for a while. These were notably Nathan Ake and Jefferson Lerma. And even though Ryan Fraser wasn't one of his signings, he definitely got the best out of him, with him achieving an amazing amount of assists in the 18-19 season. Unfortunately, in 19-20, Bournemouth got relegated, ending their 5-year Premier League stay, and Howe quit. But he will always be remembered for what he did for the club, not only by their fans, but for me, hence him being on this list. Number 4, Claudio Ranieri. The manager that did the unthinkable. Just like an old cookie-cutter shonen anime story, as soon as he was appointed Leicester manager, he had his doubters, with people saying he wasn't good enough for the role of keeping them up. He signed none other than N'Golo Kante for 8 million, arguably the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League currently. £8 million, might I add, and put faith in him to start for Leicester. You got to remember, at this time nobody had a clue who Conte was, and he came from a very small French team in League One. He also managed the team well to get the absolute best out of Schmeichel, Wes Morgan, Christian Fuchs, Robert Huth, Danny Drinkwater, Riyad Mahrez and Jamie Vardy. This was a team that barely survived relegation the season before, and against all odds he made them Premier League champions, which made betting shops lose a lot of money, and not to make the odds so ridiculous again. It was Leicester's fault, man. Leicester's fault. This was a once in 100-year time thing. I doubt any of us will be alive to see it again, proven by their league position of 12th the following season. But Ranieri proved to still have a way with the unknown great signings after claiming the title, purchasing Wilfred Ndidi as the perfect replacement for losing Conte to Chelsea that same season. His ending to his time at Leicester was quite sad, with the chairboy pulling the trigger to fire him, being 1 point above relegation zone in January, which was a decision that confused many, as they still had half a season to turn it around. Number 3, Jose Mourinho. It's mad to think Jose is on this list when he's literally managed every single team in England that Arsenal have a rivalry with. But I'm not a person to disregard greatness, because that's what he is. Dubbing himself as a special one in his first stint in England at Chelsea caused people to be split between his loving his arrogance and hating it. His record speaks for itself, winning titles in Portugal, England, Spain and Italy. I wonder if he'll win in every major league and go to France and Germany before his time is at the end. But back to where I first started to know him at Chelsea, where he made them a household name. His signings were nothing more than world class, buying the likes of Didier Drogba, Peter Cech and Ashley Cole, all of which saw Chelsea through winning more trophies than I can remember, making Stamford Bridge a fortress, as he was undefeated in all home league games until he left. He then moved to Inter Milan, where he achieved something only a few do by winning the treble, which is the league title, the League Cup and the Champions League in the one season. Did that in his second season. Then moving again to the one and only Real Madrid, he brought the likes of Khedira, Ozil and Di Maria, all of which proved to be a fortress for that side for many years to come. He eventually moved back to Chelsea to win another title, and has stayed here ever since with Manchester United and Tottenham. It's clear to see that his career has gone downhill since his second Chelsea stint. But if I speak anymore, I'm in big trouble. Number 2, Alex Ferguson. The man himself, regarded by many as the best Premier League manager and one of the best managers of all time. I can't really argue with that. He made Manchester United in a fortress that is extremely hard to replicate, and one I don't think that has been done since he's been gone, despite the many great teams out there. Joining United in '86, he had built the club up to have the legacy it has today, with them lying second from bottom in the old school Division 1, which was the top division as soon as he joined. When the official Premier League was introduced, it became aware how dominant he made United, with them winning 8 of the first 11 possible titles, even managing to three-peat between '98 and 2001, something that is extremely rare in all competitive sports in general. He signed every icon of the Man United era, like Peter Schmeichel, Andy Cole, Solskjaer, Roy van Nistelrooy, Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney, and many more. He also gave chances to players that came through the youth academy that proved to be legends, like the Neville brothers, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes. His rivalries with every other top manager in the league spanned over many years, and he got the best of most, if not all of them. Even when United went 3 years without a title, he guided them back to yet another three-peat, this time with a Champions League title thrown into the mix, enhancing that legacy he created. I still think one of his most impressive feats was winning the league in 12 to 13, with, in my opinion, the worst title-winning squad I have ever seen in my life, with only Van Persie being the only world-class player in that team. It had Danny Welbeck, Phil Jones, Tom Cleverley, a pretty good David De Gea. This squad, I don't really need to say anything more about that team because it was pretty bad. Every single football fan all said the club wouldn't be the same when Fergie left. And we've all been right, with them not even close to winning the title since. I know Mourinho got them second, but they were far, far off. Number 1, Arsene Wenger. Okay, yeah, I know, I'm an Arsenal fan and I've put Arsene Wenger at top. I know, it's kind of, but it's kind of predictable, but let me explain myself first. Arsene was so good, they named the club after him. I'm joking, but even if that's what I believed when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? But this man literally changed the game, implementing a playing style of football that Arsenal have tried holding on ever since he's been gone. For nearly all of my life, he has been the only Arsenal manager I've known, signing with them in '96, 2 years after I was born, and leaving in 2018. In '97 to '98 season, he won his first league title with the club, with notable players like David Seaman, Tony Adams, Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp, Nicolas Anelka and Mark Overmars, which he all got the best out of, with the latter two some of his outstanding signings this same season. This same season he also won the FA Cup, achieving a double and putting a dent in Alex Ferguson's recent dominance of the league. Then in 2002 he said something that made people call him crazy despite the good start of the season Arsenal had. He told the media that he believes his team could win the league unbeaten, something that hadn't been done under the current format of the Premier League. And might I add, still hasn't been done now, because you know Liverpool didn't get that, But I'm saying this while it comes out in January, so Liverpool might still have another chance with the new season. I don't know yet, can't predict the future. Then the following season happened, and with the likes of Jens Lehmann, Ashley Cole, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, Lauren, Gilberto Silva, Gail Clichy, Sol Campbell, Cesc Fabregas, and the legendary one and only Thierry Henry, all of which Wenger signed, they did what he predicted, and they won the league undefeated with 26 wins and 12 draws. The haters like to mention the 12 draws, but I don't care about the draws, man. It was undefeated. This is the only thing Arsenal have got to be proud of lately, because the team's trash. Absolute trash. Then in 2006, Arsenal reached a Champions League final by not conceding against big hitters like Real Madrid, Juventus and Villarreal in the knockout stages respectively. Unfortunately, Barcelona beat us and we haven't been competitive in that competition since. And that's when Arsene's career started to go downhill, as he didn't win a major trophy for 7 years after this, and was blasted by his fans for not spending, which I thought was never his fault, but more of the board's stingy pockets there, tight pockets up in there, the board. He ended his Arsenal career at Arsenal, winning more FA Cups than I can ever imagine, eventually taking his tally to 7. But it was a sad ending, with people really forgetting how much he changed the club, and that team has undoubtedly been worse since he is gone. The amount of Champions League qualifications he gave this team was ridiculous, really. But that is it. That is my top 5 managers. And it's been great doing these Bun and Cheese reviews. And next week we'll have another topic about football. Haven't figured it out yet, but get my thinking cap on. So, till next time.